I always loved interesting, unusual rhythms. If you think about 90% of what drummers play when we play in bands, it's usually 8 notes triplets, 16 notes. If you want to get a little excitement, 6 stoplets and 32nd notes. Those are like the majority of what we do. So those are 5 different subdivisions that are very popular. I think that's fine to really master the things that you play the most. But when I was attending the Berklee College of Music in the 80s, I was lucky enough to enroll on some of the polyrhythm classes that the great Vinny Colaiuta and Steve Smith took when they were there. The tradition of Gary Chaffee and even Ed Cuspic, the late Ed Cuspic. So I took those polyrhythm courses. And after also my studies with Gary Chaffee, which for many years, I learned about other things besides those 5 elements of 8 notes, triplets, 16s, 6 stoplets, and 32nd notes. What is the big deal about that? Well, if you look, most drummers who only know those subdivisions, when they play a groove and they want to play something faster, they usually play twice as fast. Or if they want to play something slower, they'll play something that's half time of what they play. Master teachers like Ed Cuspic and the master polyrhythm teacher Gary Chaffee, my mentor for many years, they showed me many things that are in between, let's say, double time, or many things before I play half of the speed of the things I play. So there is many degrees of tempos going on the upper range and the lower range that are very interesting, and those are some of the things that we're going to be talking about in this course. So this course that I designed for the Berklee College of Music has the foundation of all the studies that I did with Ed Cuspic and Gary Chaffee for many years, but also is a collection of a bunch of cool stuff that I heard my favorite players play. So I know polyrhythm can get really complex, but I lean towards the drummers that can play interesting things on top of solid grooves. Drummers like Steve Smith, Vinny Colaiuta, Bill Bruford, Max Roach, Ed Blackwell. And I give you examples of concepts that I learned from these players and included on the book, okay? Like you can see people like Steve Smith, for instance, playing with Journey, playing a rock shuffle. All of a sudden he's taking a solo and things get slightly slower or slightly faster, like going to a 5 or going to a 7. So I investigate what that is and I put on exercise and teach you those concepts so you can do a little bit of that. Or Vinny Colaiuta playing with Sting, songs like 7 Days, where the song is in 5/4, but he's playing larger figures like a 10 over the 2 bars, something that resolves every 2 bars. So now you have a measure that usually has a little hiccup if you're playing 5/4, but now he's making very smooth transition because he's playing that over the bar line figures. So that kind of stuff is on this book. Or if you look at drummers like Max Roach, the drummer also waltz. It's a great piece where he's playing in 3/4 with the ostinato on the hi-hat and the bass drum, very solid groove, and he's playing all these complex rhythms over the solid foundation. So my whole thing with this course is to play polyrhythms, polyrhythmic ideas over shuffle grooves, funk, Brazilian, Afro-Cubans, really things that are applicable in the bandstand with the music. And one of my great emphasis is I like to teach and play polyrhythmic ideas over a groove. something that you never leave the listener or the support of the band time-wise. So this is some of the things that we're going to be covering on this course, how to play things slightly faster, slightly slower, put a little spark on your grooves with those unusual rhythms. So I think that's really cool stuff, and I hope that you enjoy applying that to your own play as well. On this book, we are going to present to you ideas that involve odd meters, odd groupings, stickings, metric modulation, superimposition of meters, multi-directional time fills. We have some snare drum etudes, some drum set etudes. There is a listening guide, and of course we're going to apply that with songs. So you're going to have a great foundation to have a better understanding what those players are playing. You'll be able to hear more easily, and you're going to be able to really implement some new flavors, some new interesting things on your playing against solid grooves. So I love doing that. It's one of my favorite subjects, and is also one of my most popular courses that I designed for the Berklee College of Music. And I'm honored that I now teach those classes and that I help a lot of students. For the past 12 years, I've been teaching 3 semesters a year, so that's about 36 semesters. It's a lot of students that went to this course and transformed their playing. So I know this works, and this information really comes from the masters drummers, and I'm very honored that I'm part of that legacy, and I can now pass that to you. So I hope you enjoy, I hope you take the course and see your playing transformed. Let's do it.